that we do use, which are sounding natural, also have huge environmental impact. I could be talking of an avocado oil, but do you know the amount of water it consumes the plant? Do you
Yes.
know the amount of land that's taken in for so many of the products that you use when you talk of palm oil or you talk of sunflower oil? You talk of, so it never ends. It's never a perfect world. If X will tell you something, Y will bring out another story, and Z will get another. So finally, you just take a call on what really suits you and
Yes.
what is essential and what is the best you can do. We deal basically, say, in sandalwood. Yeah, but sandalwood basically also is currently being depleted by the beauty industry. If you have see right now, it's
Yes.
limited resources of real pure sandalwood,
Mhm.
and it's, but that's what it is. Can
It's
we create a more sustainable way for using all this? Probably yes.
that's what I was going to ask you. What can we create? I mean, I know that you can that chemistry is capable of creating like nature identical compounds, right? So the same the composition of sandalwood oil, you can create that in a laboratory. Would that be just as efficacious and
Yeah,
safe?
see,
So
again, like I said, if it's safe, if it comes in the clean beauty space, whatever you try to replicate, because right now we are talking of two alternates. It can't be only plant-based ingredients and petroleum-based products. There has to be some products that will start emerging right in between and really taking the whole, because it's not that natural products are safe always. It's not that, yeah. So it's like you said, in the end, it's more about trusting the brand, trusting the teams behind it, or they know what they are doing. And once you're more comfortable and confident, it's more like a routine that you'll follow with them. If you're comfortable with getting your organic vegetables from X place and you're sure this is absolutely genuinely organic,
Mhm.
you stick to it. And if you're going two steps ahead and you're looking at the carbon footprint and the whole environmental impact, you'll have to raise the bar with somebody else in some other way, because it's not going to be the same source that you're working with. So it's your objective. But that, this is not even like, I would think 1% of our audience in India who would be so looped in, so aware, and so clear. India's completely different relevant. It's all a price point market.
I understand that, but you know, I also feel like, again, back to people like your brand are bringing out products that are a lot more conscious at a lot more comfortable price points for somebody that's just starting out, right? And
Yeah,
I do believe like our younger populations are getting more aware. We also have access. I mean, they also have access to so much more information, right?
yeah,
So from what I understand, it's that don't treat everything that's chemical as bad and natural as good,
absolutely. Very
but
true.
also know what your priorities are and make the most conscious choice and educate
Yeah,
yourself. As we get better and better at
yeah.
it, we do make, and we're never going to get it right all the time,
You, yeah,
sure. And we are consumers at the end of the day. So I think it's the idea is to do it with as much consciousness as we have available and to know what also exists in the market, right? I think discovery is also getting easier today, and the internet has made so many more products and brands accessible
yeah.
to us.
See, it's about awareness, like you said, in the end, because all uh, the audience, the majority of the audience that you talk to who are aware of certain parts of the dangers of using chemical-based products, but they still will be using a lot of it. If you talk to an average uh, person going to work, there's very high chances of 80% of them, example, would be using a deodorant. How
Hmm.
many of them use a safe deodorant or a natural deodorant? Right? So you start with that. It's something that's going to remain on your body for a few hours, right? How toxic is it? How safe is it? How many people do think I want to be careful about X, but there is a lot more that I'm not careful about. So it has to be a pretty holistic approach. And then by reading the term natural, and some may say it's a very easy marketing ploy to just call this natural, because a claim to be natural has to be natural, because you may have natural ingredients, but you'll have a load of synthetic add-ons with it,
Yes, understood. Understood. It's kind of like the
right?
picture is forming in my head.
So
But
yeah,
sorry, Philip, this is another, I mean, the big bugbear of science writers like Ben Goldacre and others, for example, is the whole claims of like the anti-aging creams and stuff, right? So they claim to have ingredients like gold and retinol and salmon roe and exotic ingredients of droppings of birds or whatever. But my understanding also is that many of these would work if they were ingested, not put on your skin. Collagen is a natural product of our skin, but how much of it can you actually put on your skin for it to become a part of your skin? Can you shed some light on that, and how much is, what are the concentrations in the commercial products that we buy? Are they enough to actually, make you look like a baby again and whatever other claims?
Retinol, there are lots of these. Everybody will claim a neonicide, or they will claim a hyaluronic acid, or they'll claim XYZ. They're all definitely very good, used in the right combination and in the right proportion. For anything you use with any natural ingredient combined with that, you have to have clarity, because even as a standalone example would be any natural essential oil, like even a citrus oil or a lemon or a bergamot. All these oils, they can trigger skin irritation
Yes.
despite being 100% plant-based, right? So can I use this in my facial regime with my facial oil? It has to be worked with that detail. It's not as simple as somebody saying, oh, I can get these essential oils, I can get this made at home, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
There is going to be a high risk with you trying to think I can use all these things by myself.
Yes.
Because of not wanting to use anything which is unknown or not safe, or it's not for any other reason, right? Now the whole term will go in the same way with your food or with whatever else that we can connect this with, because today's audience, there is definitely the question that you asked, with all these fancy ingredients put in, make relevant sense for the people to pay that price, correct? That's what you're trying to
Yes.
ask me,
Yes.
right? Because there is one factor you have to understand, is there is an obsession with wellness and detoxification, with diets and products linked to it, and it's fueling this demand for, you know this completely stripped back clean ingredient labels that you're talking of in one angle. And there are two separate parts of it. There is also the feel good, where I feel, okay, I'm going to get younger, or I'm going to get fairer, or I'm going to get, there are two separate verticals of the audiences that are interested in, uh, and then consumers are possibly getting far more knowledgeable, not just about ingredients, but understanding what ingredients suit their skin or don't suit their skin, what is causing irritations. Is it some synthetic ingredients from the fragrances or the preservatives? So they start reading the labels more carefully. This is a very minuscule audience, but they are definitely growing in that,
Mm.
because there is a lot more, I would think, sensitive skin in current trends due to exposure with pollution, stress, whatever that exists in that way.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
like I said, both these categories have their own space for a certain perception that my skin is going to change with, or a certain perception of relevant to the ingredients that are getting into the product line that we work,
Yes.
right? But only thing we have to understand is, most of us have a daily exposure to 100 plus ingredients, which may not be really right, that you need to. It could be through food, it could be the skin, it could be through anything.
That's a
It
scary
could be
thought.
through it could be through a cleaning supply, okay,
Yes.
that I'm going to clean up something, or I want to use a sanitizer, which is XYZ. So
Yes.
there could be loads and loads of ways. So we can't just sit obsessed thinking, oh, I can't do this. So then you're going to get insane with that,
I think if
because it's a new buzzword.
yeah, yeah, these
It's
are.
this is like
That's why I
you're
do
you're
these, Philip. To sort of for us to create greater awareness about these sort of things, and I think
yeah,
not also
yeah, but
discount. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, exactly like what you said, relevant to anti-aging or fairness, having their space. You're driving a shift now to try to help the audience figuring out, am I working with the right ingredients, honest ingredients, natural ingredients, whatever. So
Yeah,
there is a shift.
I'm happy
So
to
they're
hear
looking for, yeah. So when you have, in simple terms, a product with far fewer ingredients, it's far better and far safer. Always remember that.
that. Okay, yes. And I think this corresponds so well to like living as a whole, right? So if you're thinking anti-aging, it also matters how you eat, how much rest you get, what your stress levels are you a smoker, what your genetics are
Absolutely.
like, you know, how much sun
Absolutely.
exposure you're getting. All of these things will matter. And I think if we start looking, like zoom out and just look at what the basics are, like you said, keep it simple. When in doubt, always look for things which are simpler. You can't go wrong with that, especially in today's
Yeah.
day and age.
Dick, you've hit the nail there on the head, because it's about sleep, which is very important, about eating right, the right quantity at the right time, the right kind of foods, exercise, because it's a combination of all this. And each skin type obviously is going to have its own story to tell. And you can look through, is it genetic? Is it the environmental stress? It could be a host of things. What do people use a retail skincare product mainly for? Assuming that one, it's going to keep them uh, look keep the skin healthy, and there is a second audience which will be expecting certain changes and results with it,
Hmm.
in simple terms.
Yes.
Now that second audience which is looking for changes or results on it, you may have 50% of them who may be able to get some part of that done. 50% could have very, very complex issues, which may not find the results from the over the counter product.
So you're
They may
saying
need to
need to see
address,
dermatologist, right? Is that
yeah,
what?
then they need to address it. And
Yes.
it doesn't mean even a dermatologist may be able to resolve that within 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. No, it's going to take time even for them to
Yes.
look into that detail, because that's like a boutique shop, a dermatologist customizing to that individual problem,
Mm,
identifying what that is and
mm.
being able to resolve. So it's never going to be a one size fits all that you'll get into the market.
So
So you
true.
may have certain audiences who probably don't comprehend, will go with certain hopes with something and get completely disillusioned and try to say that's pathetic and this ain't good. And they would probably do it to 5, 6 different brands or products they use, and they're never going to be happy with that.
Yeah.
Right? Either the skin is very sensitive, or their skin, or it's not going to be suiting, the products that they've picked up is not going to be suitable to get the results they expect, because there's far more complex issues that they've got to address first.
So true. So true. Thank you for clarifying that. Philip, I'm so curious about your brand. You used, I mean, Ayurveda, which is 3,000, 4,000 year old science. I mean, system of belief, and a lot of it modern science is also corroborating. So tell us the philosophy behind your brand, and I'm going to ask you for one must-have product that you're going to recommend. So I know you don't want to talk about this, but I'm going to ask you.
Uh, Basically, most of the brands which work around the Ayurvedic approach will work with finding the skin type according to Ayurveda, which is the Vata, Pitta, Kapha, which is the psychophysiological principles, which is called doshas
Yes.
in that, right? They're supposed to govern the activities of your mind and body, define the physical characteristics and the emotional, and it's a whole process. So your skin type can either fall into the Vata, Pitta, or Kapha. Sometimes it's a combination of two of these doshas that can go. In short and sweet, you can then figure, because each of these, like, is, you'll have a color, texture, temperature of the skin, which is defined accordingly. So if it's Pitta, what would be the luster and the glow, and what governs the sweating process, or many such factors that you need to get involved and figured out. So according to that, the lotions, moisturizers, soaps, medications, oils, etc., that you can figure out will be most suited. If there is a certain amount of excess heat, redness, wherever it is in the body, it could be at your back, it could be, so it's a detailed process that needs to work around a certain type. So
Can we sort of
motion,
evaluate that for ourselves? Is that how it works before one were to pick up a product?
you could, once you do a little bit of analysis with any, there are a lot of these Vaidyashalas, you can go to a Vaidya who will identify what is your skin type, what you should be using, what's the kind of, what is causing your skin imbalance. Is it your digest? Because they do a holistic approach to see
Mhm.
what it
Yes.
is. You
Yes.
know, what is it? Is it the digestive system? Is it your blood, the liver, imbalance in this vata, pitta, kapha? Is there some kind of emotional disturbance? Is it like the season that is hurting, like getting you change? It could be various factors. So it's a kind of constant path towards healing. You know, it's like
Wow.
anything else that you work with, and a lot of it is, like we say, the attitude gets you the altitude that you want. So what is the mind space you're working with? It's simple,
Mhm.
because it's 80% also a lot to do with your mind, how you think the whole thing out,
So to
and
add, it's
20%
what you
is
become,
just
right?
20% is the rest. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But is
Yeah.
there
So
like if one product that suits many, if not all, in your range?
no, that would be a lie if I say that one product can really
I love
suit
that. I love
everyone.
that.
It's
Yeah,
no,
yeah. Because everything
no.
that you've told us so far seems to suggest that we need to make our choices more consciously, more personalized, and really, but what suits us, right?
Yeah,
But
because each person will have a separate skin condition, and you've got to know, identify that, and then explore options. It's like your diet. Certain foods suit you, certain foods don't suit you. Combining certain foods create a lot of issues, maybe with digestions, or so
But do you
create.
guys help us solve those problems? I mean, do you have experts who recommend products, or it's for us to do
No,
that and then we pick from
no,
a range of
no,
products? Is that how it
no. We
works?
don't.
All right. But
No,
how can we
yeah.
find products online, I presume now, thanks to lockdown?
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes, yes. But like I said, most of it is just have a peaceful life, sleep well, exercise, eat right, and that's all. If you, and that double bonus, if you're doing some yoga, I don't know, meditation, like,
Absolutely. But
that's more than it.
not to discount what a good product can do for us, Philip. I also say that, very often for people, they assume that meditation means we just have to sit down in lotus pose and rigid and hold
Yeah,
our mind steady.
yeah,
I say that no, listen, even like a well-being
yeah,
ritual that you have, like the idea of taking off your makeup at night and just
yeah,
applying some cream to your skin. It's tactile. All of these actually fall within the realm of mindfulness practices, not to endorse any product, but that time that you just spend, you're reconnecting with your body. It also helps us become so much more aware that, to now I'm feeling calm, now I'm feeling tense. It also becomes tells us we become more tuned into when we're not feeling rested, when we're not feeling well. Sometimes we pick up on these signals so late, because our thoughts are everywhere. So I love these little beauty rituals that I myself have started following, and I do on myself, for myself, because I feel like it also connects me so much to just being present with myself, with my body, and then therefore, what's going on within as well. So
do you have an oily skin?
no, I don't think so. It seems to be fairly normal. I do sweat a lot.
No.
The glow is
Ah,
mostly the sweat, but yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No, I'm just generally saying, I just thought, because maybe it's the reflection. So if it just an idea that if you're, I just gave you this idea, that means if people with a certain skin type, or obviously will work on different kinds of detoxifications that they need to work around on a regular. It's all about being regular in the end. I
Yes.
can't get a body by saying I intend to go to the gym for, like 2 days a month, and then make it 2 days a week. No, it has to be consistent. So that is
Absolutely.
very critical.
You
You
took
use
the words out
any
of my mouth.
brand. Yeah, you use any brand, any product. Nobody's telling you use X or Y or Z or use this. No, but be consistent with it,
Yes.
follow it through. And
Yes.
it has to be a holistic approach. By just saying, okay, I've got oily skin, I'm going to start exfoliating with clay and this may help me with the external cleansing. Yes, it will, but you also have to cleanse within.
Within.
So if
Yes.
I, yeah, if I'm not going to take care of that, avoid too much of sweet or deep fried, and I do not exercise along with it,
Absolutely.
things don't help. It has to work holistically. Understand that.
I love that, and I love that it's coming from somebody like you that has so much experience in the cosmetics space. And again, thank you so much, Philip. I know it's a
My
busy
pleasure.
day for you. I love your brand, and I'm so proud to have been a small part of its beginning. And I hope to stay connected with you for many more years to come. All the very best to you and Amrita.
Thank you very much and all the best to you.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much. Have a wonderful day.
You too.